This case is so important to me I hate to leave in the middle, but I'm simply aching to see my dearest friend and talk to her. We've been planning this trip for nearly a year, and I decided I'd go mad if I didn't see my Anushka soon. So I booked the ticket to Virginia from the 24th to the 27th, with the Southern Line. 4 days was all of the holiday Mr. Biggs would give, and he did not do so willingly. I paid for the ticket with my own funds, which made me feel like a bona fide member of the adult world. When I imagine myself alone on a huge locomotive all the way to Virginia, I feel small and scared as a young child. When I think of traveling out of New York for the first time in my whole life, I feel as big as a grown woman. Will Anushka be happy to see me after all this time? What gifts can I take along that will remind her of our crowded city life and what she left behind? Perhaps I could bring a bottle of Backfire from one of the motor carriages, a song from the hurdy-gurdy player, or I could gather up the neighbors and pay Mr. Barnacle $2 whole for a photograph of all of us in front of our old tenement building. I can see Anushka looking at it, pointing out Mrs. Zandbarger and the Moskowitz boys, and both of us bursting into great gales of wonderful loud laughter that I can feel all the way down to my toes. I was for a time worried about leaving Marm, as I have never done so before, and she has had enough loved ones leave her. But her first outing with her new friend Mr. Silver went so well, I think maybe she'll survive without me. Mr. Silver took her to the Metropolitan Museum, and Marm arrived home full of stories and a smile that wouldn't leave her eyes. It seems that Mr. Silver has frequented the museum with paper and pencil, and spends time copying the pictures and figures. He knows the history of the masterpieces and the Greek and Latin artifacts, and told Marm about all of them. I'd be curious to see how good these drawings really are. When I return from my trip, the three of us together will attend the New Year's celebration over at the factory near Herald Square, where Mr. Silver is a cutter, and Uncle David tailors. There will be frying fish and barrels of oil on the street, and setting off firecrackers and dancing to an oompa band. This party will give me a chance to become better acquainted with Mr. Silver. It will give me the opportunity to thank him for his kindness to my lonely Marm, and to remind him of my father's existence, which he, like us, must never forget for a moment.